So anyway, so we're going to go straight to some of the questions that I actually picked up in the Q&A, and we're going to answer some of them. So since Yong Heng was talking about the Aero NUS that he joined, we have this question that says, does NUS have an aviation club for students who are interested in aero and a platform to understand the aero industry? Now, it's not quite the same thing, what Yong Heng is doing, but maybe Yong Heng, could you share with everybody, since you said that you can get credits from doing this Aero NUS project, tell us how this credit thing works. So how are you able to kind of learn and also indulge your passion for aero and then yet earn credits? Maybe tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so basically last year, a few of us were approached by Dr. Jonathan Tay, who is also a lecturer at NUS actually, about to join this project. And then he let us know that actually we could possibly earn academic credits from this. So under the new CD infrastructure, there's this set of modules which are kind of like sort of free and easy. You can choose whatever project you want to do. For example, independent work or research-based projects. So basically you just write up a report, write up proposals, meet up with the mentor regularly, and then you will get a 4MC as viewable, means satisfactory or is ungraded basically, credits which would help you offload some of your workload.
Okay, that's very cool. And I am assuming that you are looking forward to the competition in the US.
Yeah, I am. Thank you. Okay,
so along the same question, we're going to put that to my colleague, Prof. Teo Chang-Dre. As I understand it, we do not have an aviation club, but how do our students who are interested in aero connect with industry? I know COVID has kind of disrupted things, but going forward, if we're going to a new normal, how do you see that value add that we give to our aero students?
Okay, actually, NUS, our mechanical engineering, is actually a member of the Association of Aerospace Industries in Singapore. So that particular association actually brings together all the aviation-related companies in Singapore. So it's very good to be a member of that particular association. So we are always informed about the many different events, okay, that are happening in the aviation industry, just like the recent air show. And we do broadcast these events out to our students and give them opportunities to participate in these events itself. So what happens is that, just to add on to what Yong Heng mentioned, I guess students have many opportunities to actually engage, right, in all these aviation-related activities. Of course, one of them is through independent work. We also have final year projects as well as design projects, which students are able to get, their hands dirty on designing these aircraft, to maybe participate in different types of competitions. And competitions, I guess the one that Yong Heng is preparing for is perhaps the international one. We also have local competitions which are organized by DSO. Every year they organize one, and every year I also serve as one of the judges for these design, build and fly sort of competitions that we have. So we are actually engaged with an industry. We're actually a partner of this Airbus. So we are actually this AGUPP, the Airbus Group University Partnership Program, and we are the only university in Singapore which is part of that AGUP itself. So these are just some of the ways we are related to the aviation industry.
Okay, thanks very much, Chang-Dre. So I hope that answers the question by an anonymous attendee. Okay, so I'm going to put that away. Now, so we have a question which I think my colleagues can also help me answer, but I'll take a stab at it at first. So the question is, how different is ME in NUS as opposed to ME in NTU. And I think that's a question that comes up very often, you know, should I go to NUS or should I go to NTU? Well, some of the highlights, I think in NUS, I mentioned during my talk, but I'll reiterate because I was a bit rushed at the end, is that under the new CDE curriculum, you have a lot of flexibility to use your unrestricted electives in many ways. Now, the advantage of NUS is that we are a very comprehensive university. So for example, you have very esoteric interests and passions. Let's say you want to go to Indonesia, the remote parts of Indonesia, and you want to, so we actually have a group, but I think they're going through some changes. Some of our previous students graduated and they set up this startup called Yona, which actually has autonomous, which are actually autonomous drones, which will bring medicines and vaccines to very remote places in Papua New Guinea. So, for example, you're interested in doing something like this. So you may want to use your unrestricted, so you may want to do an aero specialization and then use the other 5 modules maybe to learn Bahasa Indonesia, for example, or Bahasa Malaysia. I can't remember which Bahasa is on offer. And also maybe to do sociology modules, because then you understand more about the culture, how to deal with you know, really very different people, and maybe even geography. Then you understand how your plane actually flies over different terrains. Are there things like downdrafts? You know, how your drone flies. So that kind of flexibility is offered in NUS, so like languages and geography, sociology, and less so in NTU, which still tends to be a bit more technical based or business based. So that is actually one advantage of this much larger ecosystem that you get in ME. Okay, so and of course, you know, NUS has very established programs such as the NUS Overseas Colleges. We started that, you know, nearly 20 years. Or at least, maybe I think probably close to 20 years already, where we have a lot of contacts with overseas, the overseas startups and so on. So those are the things that we are very strong in NUS. Now, actually, I wanted to turn the a related question about how different is ME to NTU, because one of the very popular questions is why does NUS not have an aeronautical degree, like an aerospace degree in NTU? Would one of my colleagues, either Prof. Teo or Prof. Hong, like to take that?
Okay, maybe I'll try to answer that. Okay,
okay, yeah.
All right, how we do it at NUS is slightly different from how NTU does it. At NUS, aeronautical engineering is actually offered as a specialization. And we feel that that actually gives students much more flexibility in choosing or selecting their careers because unlike NTU, where it is a degree, students learn a lot exclusively on aeronautical engineering, and that actually may restrict their career opportunities. Whereas in NUS, because we offer it as a specialization, students learn about aeronautical engineering. We do equip them with the necessary basic knowledge about aeronautical engineering. But at the same time, our curriculum is also sufficiently broad-based so that they are able to look for career opportunities in a wide range of different industries which are related to mechanical engineering. So this gives them much more flexibility when it comes to looking for jobs and careers. Right.
So maybe just as an add-on, so if a student is really interested in aero, while the specialization only requires 5 modules, could the student use the other extra 5 to do more aero related modules as maybe also an FYP? Is that possible?
Definitely, that will definitely be possible. Students can actually pursue design projects or final year projects related to aeronautical engineering. And above those 5 modules, if they are really interested, they can always pursue even more using their UEMs, the 40 MCs of UEMs that they are given.
So I want to turn now to Prof. Hong, my colleague. Again, because we have 4 different specializations. So if we don't have a degree like an aerospace degree in NTU, how then do we actually recognize the specializations that our students have done? Can you maybe comment on that?
Actually, what you get is you get a degree in mechanical engineering, but in addition to that, you also get another certificate stating that you have a specializations in one of the 4 specializations we have in there, right? So that actually gives you the flexibility that you have in here. You use whichever cards you like to your own convenience in terms of your career applications in that way, right? So that is also another reason why, like what Prof. Teo have just mentioned, that we do not want to jump to a degree program. It actually restricts their applications domains in some way, right? And also, we do have some statistical backgrounds of like, after certain year, right, you do have some kind of things like you maybe the specializations that or the degree that you pick are not exactly the max. If you go to very narrow field in that way, you find it a bit hard to switch in a way. But this actually gives us that flexibility there, right? And if you really need for further depths in that, like what Prof. Teo had mentioned, you can make use of the UEM, which is 10 modules of them, right? Or not 10, actually, you use half of it for the specializations of it, right? To enhance your knowledge in that area that you have in there.
Okay, since I have you on the line, Prof. Hong, we just saw a question that came in to say that, so NTU has this flexibility where you can select different modules from different specializations. So can our students use their 10 unrestricted electives just to select any modules from any specialization that we offer?
Yes. Well, it is unrestricted elective in a way that you can literally not only picking that we offer you, in fact, you can pick anything within the whole NUS campus. That's what you have in there, right? And we do have students doing things like music or some other, which is totally not related to engineering.
Well, yes and no, because acoustics, just to let everybody know, acoustics is actually an important part of engineering. We have a colleague who studies sound. So, in an urban environment, actually being able to get a quiet sound by modifying acoustics through mechanical means is very important as well. So actually, maybe, the music is not a bad idea too. Yeah. So, so we have answered that. So essentially, when we give you that 10 modules of unrestricted electives, if you're interested in just mechanical engineering or maybe something in electrical engineering, you are free to take any of the modules, both within engineering, outside of engineering, except for certain things like medicine or law or computer science. There is some restrictions, but in many of the other cases, it's actually really free in that. So hang on. So let me just remove that. So I hope we have answered the question, how different is ME in NUS different from NTU? The basic ME modules do not change anywhere in the world that you go to. I think you have to look at the bigger ecosystem and the overall curriculum structure and the opportunities that are afforded within different universities. To pick up on this question about, because CDE is a new thing, and there's a lot of emphasis on a broad range of skills, and then also interdisciplinary learning. And of course, the worry from this question is our knowledge in ME being compromised? Actually not, as my colleague Prof. Teo has answered in the Q&A. So let me just expand a little bit more on that. And it's because we have just moved things around a little bit, that's all. So the 10 unrestricted electives are really free for you to go and explore more in any part of engineering that you like. In the past, it used to be a lot more restricted. If you want to take other modules from other disciplines or even outside of engineering, there are a lot more administrative restrictions. So NUS has moved increasingly towards kind of banning these red tape so that you are able to pursue either deeply or broadly. And everybody is different. And the kind of the common modules that we introduce in engineering is actually the kind of knowledge that we think that we know, in fact, in talking to, because the curriculum came up through development with industry partners and industry leaders. And if anything, the last 2 years have shown us is that nobody can predict what's going to happen. And digitalization during COVID has really taken off. So we are trying to equip students with at least basic knowledge to help you through in the next, the medium term, okay? At least you have a taste of different kinds of modules. So then you can even use your 10 unrestricted electives to go deeper into any of those areas. So we give you that flexibility by exposing you to a wide range of knowledge in the beginning. Then you are in a much more informed position to decide where you want to go deep. Okay, so because you haven't started yet, okay, so you don't know. So we are saying that taste first, and then taste at the buffet, and then, if you like, go back for more of the same. Okay. We have another question. Physical activities. Okay. So this involves student life. Sorry, Nicole, we never got around to asking you any question, but we're going to direct this last question, this question to Yong Heng.
Yes.
And the question is, how are you going to run physical activities, and maybe you want to talk about some of your plans and also talk about safe management measures as well. Okay, Yong Heng.
Yeah, so just to keep in line with government regulations, school regulations, and really just to keep everyone safe during this intensive COVID-like situation, we have a lot of safe management measures prepared. For example, like groups of 5, no intermingling between groups of 5, and then their space at least 1 meter apart, so that we can still have quite similar to the kind of activities we used to run before COVID as with right now during COVID. So, and then we have seen a lot of changes being made in the digital sphere. So like the digitalization of like many of the avenues, like, we are right here in the e-open house. So this used to be done in person. So a lot of things can be done more on the digital world that we found, and can also bring in more engagement, while also we're still also able to retain our like physical events and all that. So we are planning hackathons, workshops, physical and online. It's up to you. We have a hybrid model that we tested last sem, like the SolidWorks workshop I showed earlier. And yeah, we hope to see you there. So physical activity is still on.
Okay, I hope that answers the question. Do you have any questions at all, especially regarding mechanical engineering? Do reach out to us by email. Our contact details are all on our website. But if it's very specific admission questions, you can also reach out to the main undergraduate team of CDE, who is in a better position to talk to you about scholarships and financial aid and acceptance deadlines and when you can expect to hear your offers. So thank you so much for joining us in this morning session. Thank you for your patience, and we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.